the day after a holiday. Just bagels in the back. Everyone on Zoom. Hopefully everyone had a good holiday weekend. Didn't work too hard. I haven't heard how activity was on open houses. Did any of you guys do open houses over the weekend? Steady? Yeah. Okay. Holiday weekends, you never know. Sometimes they're busy, sometimes they're not. So good to put it out there though. Next week's already June. It's going to be wild. So starting in June, our ALC Wellness Committee, which is Grace, Kim, and Whitney Robinson, have organized a walking club before these meetings. So every Tuesday before the meeting in June, you just meet at the front at 9. They're going to go on a little walk. There's some nice little trails around here, maybe just around the parking lot, whatever you guys are into. So Whitney, you want to add anything on that?
And just to get your day started. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, again, it's nothing like just come and show.
Yeah, there's no sign up, there's no commitment.
Nope.
Yeah.
And Gracie's really nervous, so hopefully I will not be there on Tuesday, but she's very nervous no one's gonna come, so show up. Please show up. Please show up. She's very nervous.
I love that. I'm jealous. We have meetings, national meetings every Tuesday morning before this, but I'm like, I wish I could be going a nice, lovely walk around, so.
And then this week on Wednesday, tomorrow, is our CE class. This one's sponsored by Lawyer's Title for lunch and the CE credit. So scan to register if you can, just to make it easier for lunch. But Cameron Starr is going to present, and he's going to talk about social media, but not just like your basic one-on-one stuff, but more how to tailor things to sub-audiences, how to make sure things are compliant with Oregon laws, and just whatever's the latest on algorithms and posting strategies. So that should be a great class. So hope to see you guys there. And this one's specifically for Instagram and Facebook. And then on Thursday, we have our 4th in the series of the KW Wealth Mastermind. Kevin is on vacation today, but he'll be back for this. And it'll be the 1-hour mastermind from 10 to 11, or I'm sorry, the 1-hour live stream of the wealth series from 10 to 11. And then from 11 to 11:30, it'll be a mastermind discussion about the content. And it's always great. So we'd love to see more of you guys there. Again, it's not about your business. It's really about your personal wealth, your personal money strategies. So Jael, you've been coming. That's been good. I love it. Good. A couple of you guys in the room have been coming. Felicity, you've been coming, right? Yeah.
A lot of you guys, so keep it coming.
You don't have to have come to the other ones in the series if you want to just come to this one too. And then next week, Tim is hosting a career night. So, and if you know of anyone who's thinking about getting into real estate, curious, anything, just send them either Tim's contact info or just tell them to come in on Tuesday at 6 p.m. And that's always good to, share what we have going on in our coaching programs for new agents.
And if you need a shareable graphic, just let me know and we can get you one.
Good call. Love it.
Julie just sent us someone from their group who got licensed. So, okay, then Dwight, you're back doing scripts and objection handling next week.
Next week.
So again, this is also informal in the front room. Just come by, have coffee, and practice scripts. We were just talking about a lot of our conversations with you guys last week was that listings are kind of sitting longer, and we're having to have different conversations with sellers specifically on setting expectations up front, what the market's doing, how days on market, price changes, right? Those conversations are a lot easier if you set the expectations up front. So
we did, and there was a question about that, so we did start talking about
good.
that. But we're not honestly even doing this a little while now, and we haven't been able to get through more than a page in a session because people are asking more and more questions now, and they're bringing their frustrations in. And so, I mean, that is the purpose of it, is to try and use the Glover script book as a guide, but to also answer the most important questions that people have that they're coming to the class to get answers to. So I think, it's full, like we don't have any downtime. It's been very busy and very rewarding, I think, for everyone that's come.
Cool. So you just show up to that next week, Wednesday at 9 a.m. in the front room. And then next week, gosh, we have a lot of good stuff coming up. So Keller Williams comes out with a class called Profit Camp, and there was one in March that we talked about a little bit, but it cost $99 to do it. So we decided, Laura, our finance chair on our ALC, decided that we're going to teach a Profit Camp Lite and just use the material and just teach it to you guys and not charge $99. So it'll be a condensed version, so it'll be an hour and a half, and I told Laura I'd help her teach it, but we'll go through the Keller Williams material of Profit Camp, and it's all about maximizing your profit in your business and really taking control of your finances.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Hemrick and McNichol Jewelers. So if you'd rather text with us, just press 1. Otherwise, hang tight, and a team member will be with you shortly. We're getting ready for our grand reopening on Tuesday, May 20th, and we can't wait to see you. Thanks again for reaching out.
Yeah, so register for this because there are printed workbook materials and things like that. And just based on that time, we'll bring in lunch probably. So
I would add that the timing of this is perfect because normally I would be doing a mid-year review of where I was in June. So the end of June is the mid-year. And typically what I found was that once as we started to get to the last 2 weeks of May, and we had the sports all winding up in all the schools at every level, and we had some college graduations, we had kids coming home from school and high school graduations. Normally from about May 15th to about July 10th-ish, my activity would start to drop off on my open houses and my calls where people were dealing with life situations. And so that gave me a moment to sit down and say, okay, where am I at relative to what my goals were? And how's the market right now? Am I getting activity? Was I getting activity? If I'm not getting activity, what do I need to do? And I'd start digging in on the listings that hadn't sold, say, am I overpriced on these or am I priced right? So that as I go into the summer, which our summers are not notorious for being the most active months of the year. So as I go into the summer, I'm making sure if I need to reprice, I am repricing right now in June, so that I have July and August sitting at a better price. Because if I didn't sell it in May, and I had it on the market for February, March, or April, or May, or some combination of 6 or 8 weeks, then it was time to get the price down. And what's happening right now? Rates are not coming down. So are we going to get a second wind from rates coming down? Not right now. So we need to make sure that we're staying on top of the market.
Yeah, think of it almost as like your mid-year check-in of your business plan, right? So this is just the profit part of it, but it's a good time to be looking at all of these things and figure out what you have to do. So hopefully we'll see lots of you guys there. This is the first time we've taught this class, but it's great material, great workbook, but normally, again, you have to pay $100 to get. So hopefully to see you guys there. And then in July, we've been plugging it, save the date, July 25th. We will send out the official invite here soon. We just didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle if we send it out too early. So mark your calendars and bring your whole families. And if anyone would like to help in the planning of it, being on the planning committee, reach out to us on Nick or I, and we would love your input. Okay, what else do we have going on? Homefront, Azure.
Quick, hello everybody. So generally, just like Dwight was mentioning, rates have been kind of, hanging out. Haven't been doing anything super drastic up or down. FHA rates, you can expect somewhere in the mid 6s, give or take a quarter, depending on credit score, down payment. High 6s for conventional, If you do have less down in a condo or something like that, it may even be higher. So that's just kind of where you can expect things to be looking right now for your clients. If you guys have any questions on that, let me know. I don't have the date up here or off the top of my head, maybe Cole does. But just a reminder, we're going to have a pop by event coming in mid-June, did you say the 13th?
June 18th.
18th. June 18th, save the date for that. We're gonna have something here. Well, you know, if you haven't attended one of those events before, we set up an assembly line. We help you put all these things together. We pre-order the supplies for you, help you do all the designing. So just show up, have some snacks, hang out, it's kind of social and fun, and we just help you just mass produce whatever you need to hand out. So I think that's all I have to go over.
And then it'd be great little 4th of July summer theme.
Summer, 4th of July thing. I'm maybe thinking a little less full 4th of July, because I feel like it almost gets a little political and everybody's just so, I don't know, so I'm like, maybe more summer and less 4th of July.
Right.
Anyways.
Fun. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, if you have any lending question, Azure and her team are here. Well. Cameron, so we've been doing the commercial minute, even though you have more than a minute, Cameron.
I have more than a minute. I feel like I just keep getting a little bit
Commercial
more
minutes.
time every single week, so.
Yeah.
Ready, Office is fun and we're ending with a really cool example. And just so you know, Azure and I are working on getting a commercial contact in for lending. So we're probably gonna do two, one that would be more commercial specific, and then one that would be more tailored to just broad differences between the residential and commercial side for lending. So thank you for that. Azure.
Oh, I love that. That's a great class.
All right, what is Office? Office are properties where commercial businesses have their businesses up and running, their operations. And they're normally divided into these categories. CBD, you'll hear a lot, or suburban. CBD is like downtown Portland, obviously not really doing well and hasn't been since COVID in Portland. And then they're usually divided into class A, B, and C. Class A, think like the premium, like law offices or like an Amazon type of an office in a downtown location. B is kind of in between, and then class C is lower office properties that need work for the most part. It includes multi-tenant buildings, single tenant assets, medical office. They're doing pretty well right now. Flex office, which is actually where we're at right now. This is an industrial park. So where this office was built out, and we would consider this to be more in the flex space. Semi-industrial is what I call it. And then co-working spaces. Primary method for valuation is the income approach. So similar to retail, which we talked about last time. This is looking at your NOI, your net operating income, and dividing it by your cap rate or what the intended return is, the cap rate for a market or a location or an asset class. Cap rate varies based on location, lease terms, tenant mix, and building quality. Lease terms and tenant mix, similar to a single tenant net asset, which we talked about for retail last week, is the two largest drivers. And so there are costs associated with that, which we'll get to. So these are some of the considerations: length and strength of your tenants and vacancy and rollover schedule. These are the most important parts in valuing an office building. And when we get to our example at the end, you'll see exactly why. TIs, tenant improvements, you'll hear a lot. New leases, there are landlord TIs and tenant TIs for which party is actually paying for those. And then leasing commissions. Both of those have huge impacts on value, because it's direct dollars upfront in a transaction. Common concessions include free rent months or free rent periods and the customization costs. In the world of office, you would be surprised. You could have a beautiful class B office space, and when new office users go into a space, they always want to change it no matter how nice it is. So there's almost always office conversion costs, and it sometimes feels a little bit wasteful in that world, especially if you're in class A and you're in like downtown buildings. Expense recovery categories. This is sometimes the most confusing in the office world. If you were to just go on LoopNet and look up rental rates for office properties in different areas, you'll see sometimes full service, modified gross, triple net. There are a couple others, but these are the most common. And basically what that means is in full service, all expenses are included in the rate. So like in Meadows, those brick buildings that are in Lake Oswego, most of those rates are full service. So you'll see $46, $50 per square foot for your space, and you just multiply that. That includes almost all of your expenses. Modified gross is somewhere in the middle, so tenant pays for partial, and then triple net, which we discussed last time in the retail session, is your taxes, insurance, and operating expenses that are all on the tenant in that scenario. So that rate is what the base rate is that the tenant actually pays. How financing works, relatively similar, but stabilized versus value add is a huge distinguishing factor. Lenders need to have some sort of stabilization, usually in the 85 to 90% range, in order to get a permanent loan. Otherwise, you're looking at bridge loans while you're paying. Well, if I'm the investor and I'm buying the building, I have to pay leasing costs, TIs, building conversions to get the building leased out. Usually amenity spaces today. And then similar common loan sources, banks, life insurance companies, CMBS, and debt funds. DSCR, we talked about that before. That can vary, but debt service coverage ratio also applies in this asset class. Loan to value, occupancy, we talked about tenant improvements and leasing commissions. These in this asset class, you'll see those vary the most widely among the asset classes. And then usable and rentable square footage is another thing to be, and I tried to simplify it. So there's more to this equation, but the usable square footage is the actual space that a tenant occupies. So common areas are not included, and then rentable includes your prorated share of common areas in your actual rentable square footage. High risk, high reward. I think this is a really interesting asset class. It's usually elevated unless you're an owner user, like an office company like our office. If we wanted to go buy an individual building and occupy, 51 to 100% of the building. If you take those buyers out, it's normally more sophisticated commercial real estate investors because of all of the items that we had talked about. Big money in the space, especially if you get to big buildings in downtown and other metro areas, but it also carries a ton of risk. So you'll see massive profit swings, both up and down, depending on the market. And then also huge broker commission variances. You can even get above 10% depending on if you represent like Amazon in the market. So it just depends on, there's so many factors that go into it, but the largest ranges in the asset classes are in office. So here's an example that I wanted to share. Big Pink, the US Bancorp Tower in downtown Portland. This is a crazy valuation swing. So it's a 42-story building, 1.15 million square feet, including this huge parking garage. And they lost a huge tenant, and they're now 45% occupied. This sold for $373 million in 2015, and it's currently on the market. The asking price is 70, and they may not even get that. So, I mean, we're talking well below the replacement costs. That's $60 a square foot. And so, and a big part of that is it's an older building now.
Yeah.
And the leasing costs, the TI costs alone to retrofit the spaces in order to make it work are so big that it's driven the price down to under $60 a foot. It's probably going further than that.
I did see some of those business models where they're renting like the office space by the room versus renting like a whole floor to a business per se, because there's a lot of these flex spaces now. Would something like that work when you have a lot of area?
It could work for a portion of it.
Yeah.
But it comes down to economy of scale. If you're to do that for 1.15 million square feet would take so much time, effort, cost, attorney fees to draft leases, it would make it so it doesn't even make sense to spend your time doing that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of co-working spaces in Portland. And it depends on which one most of them aren't doing all that well.
Gotcha.
So is this a good deal for 70 million?
I would consider it a good deal.
The challenge is you have to lease it up, which can take 10 years, right?
Yeah, tens of millions of dollars. There's just no leasing activity going on in downtown Portland. It's very small. And so that's where in the market, you can negotiate massive fees on the broker side, but also a lot of the office leasing brokers in Portland that specialize in the CBD have started doing other types of real estate work because it's been so slow for so long.
In light of this, which seems like a really unfortunate situation, how do you see this affecting the future commercial market of the buildings around and things like that if this is happening? I appreciate, I mean, I appreciate this has its own issues, but how do you see it impacting future commercial market in downtown Portland?
It definitely makes the outlook grim in the near future. Like, even if Portland starts to do well, there's so much office space that needs to be addressed. But the suburban Portland metro market has reaped the rewards. I mean, office is doing really well. Yeah, from Beaverton down to Wilsonville and Happy Valley. I mean, office is generally doing pretty well. It depends though.
What do you see the most of, like that full service or the triple net? What was one in between?
It's probably something in the middle, modified gross. It just depends on how utilities, if they're individually metered, all that stuff matters for multi-tenant.
Yeah.
But you'll see a good mix of all those. Normally you have, in order to do full service, you have a more sophisticated landlord that can bake in a lot of those costs. And if you end up using a ton of electricity, they have clauses that they can figure out how to charge you more in that scenario. Interesting, right? And that's one of many. Menashe just bought the Montgomery Park building. That's another really interesting example of one that actually traded, and that traded well under replacement value. That's on such a massive piece of land that if you broke that sales price, I forget what the exact number is, to the price per foot on the land, that's 30 million. So whatever that was on the land, I did the math before, the land value, it's a great price. Like, you could just demo the building and then redevelop that into something big mixed use campus, something like that. So as long as they're able to cover costs in the way that they capitalize it, it could be a good deal, right? In the long term.
Yeah.
Just depends on what happens with Portland. Yeah. Okay, so I broke this down also into questions you can ask clients and then questions for investors. The investor side's a little bit more sophisticated, but these would be, it's really common to get referrals in this category. Somebody that operates a chiropractic clinic or a small office, an engineering firm, and they're in, a space here on Boones Ferry and they're trying to find a new location. These questions really matter. So size of space, like what are they in now? That's a huge one. And what do they need? Are they willing to share a bathroom corridor, or do they just want, individual private offices? How many individual private offices do they need? A kitchen in their space, that kind of stuff. Those kind of basic questions help out a lot when evaluating it. And then location, commute distances start to matter for the staff. And then these are some more specific things that you wouldn't really need to ask. But if a office user is occupying the entirety of the building, I always bring up first right of offer or first right of refusal if they want to own the building someday. And then what's the budget? Ideal lease term, and then funds to bid allowed. This is big, right? A lot of smaller businesses don't necessarily have tens of thousands of dollars to build out of space. And so that's when we can negotiate based on the rate for the landlord TI, the landlord tenant improvement side, to play a factor in what our offer is. And then you'll see these are very similar, right? Are you in a 1031 exchange? That's popped up on pretty much every asset class. That always is. I mean, those are the best buyers that we have in commercial because of the motivation and the timelines that are associated. What are they looking for? A, B, and C. Are they looking to reposition and value add? Are they buying it cash and then leasing it up and then pulling their money out through a stabilized loan? And then preferred holding period. It's always good to know. Any questions? All right.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
What's next week's commercial minute?
I think it's industrial.
Industrial, okay, I like it. Office is interesting because it is like, you hear the swing of everyone, no one's.
Office, and now people are back, and but then downtown Portland, there's a lot of other conversations to go along with that, but it's really interesting.
Like in San Francisco, I have some friends that are part of office value add companies and they're buying as much as they can all cash right now. As long as it pencils, and then the plan is to just re-tenant it and have capital to do that, and then they'll find a loan at some point in the near future when the interest rates settle, they're gonna make huge amounts of money. As long as you can control the tenants, right? If you know you have tenant interest in an area, that's what controls the swing.
So that's the problem with downtown Portland is
There's no tenants.
intense interest, even if you were to get that for half the price, there's still no tenant.
Yeah,
Not-
at least in San Francisco, there are some drivers that are super positive with AI.
Yeah,
Some, to some degree, Seattle, but.
interesting. Thanks, Kim. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today, for the rest of the meeting, we wanted to just go through some of the resources
we have available for you guys and some of the common questions that we get and where to find certain information. So Cole, what are we going to start with? First one is Connect. So Keller Williams is slowly moving all of the resources into the Connect tab on your command. So not everything is there yet, but everything will be now. Like there will be no mykw.kw.com where you would go like the intranet to get some things. So everything will be in the next couple of months on Connect. But right now is where you can find all the different courses that are offered on KW University. There's tons of different scripts. There's videos on all these different things, listings, lead generation. And sometimes we get asked questions of like, gosh, like, where can I watch someone do a role play or learn about that? And it's all in here. Basically everything you would ever want to learn.
You could do online videos and classes all day long. So don't do that, but if there's certainly click on the playbooks. Paul, yeah.
What would be like during the reading in 2025? Do you have like breakouts?
It'll be they recorded some of the breakouts, those will be in there. We'll actually show that next. So these playbooks, can you just go to this on here?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
Oh no, that takes you, hold on, see if there's a, oh wait, go down below, is the, if
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you can download some of them, like open house playbook.
That's cool.
So this is like how to have like a step-by-step guide from top agents on how to have like an amazing open house, right? This is 28 pages, every tip and strategy there is, right? So, and then if, wait, go back, Cole, I told Cole, I was like, you drive, I'll talk. Unless you wanna talk. Go back to the other playbooks. There's one on seminars, that's a really good one. That seminars one, that's like, think about like first time home buyer classes, investment classes, different things like that. That's a really good one. Newsletters, that's a good one. Social media. So yeah, there's a ton of really good ones. Not all of them are gonna be relevant to everyone, but that's what's cool. You can decide what speaks to you. This is just one tiny section in here. But if there's anything that you're wanting to learn more of or watch, there's everything. There's videos, there's PDFs, there's like online actual courses. There, some of these will be in-person courses that you could like fly to Texas or anywhere and pay. So there's all kinds of different things.
One thing I really like on Connect are these one-page systems.
Oh, yes.
So these are just models built out by agents around the country. And these are models that they've actually used in their business, and it's literally just a step-by-step guide on how to do the model, how to pull it off. And I love it too, because they put their name on it. So if you have any questions, you can just reach out to that person directly. Just find their information in the KW system, give them a call, and I'm sure they're more than happy to talk to you about it.
And these all stemmed from like mega agent camp like 2 years ago. They were like, wait, we should just put all these notes in one pages on each of these people. So and it's amazing now. So and again, yeah, these are all real agents that are Keller Williams agents that you can reach out to. Like Laura Gillette right there, she's in just Southern Oregon. She's in our neighborhood, but how she uses her team, and this shows her whole org chart of how she structures her team and everything. So basically, I mean, these one pages are great. Good stuff, cool. But we just wanted to make sure we showed everyone all of the things that are in here because there is so many resources. Yes.
There used to be a like how to learn commands, and I haven't been able to find it. since it switched to this format, so when and if Cole, you find something, you know, it's like how
Let's
it's
show
like the
that.
basics, right?
Yeah.
101.
So they have this command section right here, another favorite.
Wait, show her, when you first click on connect, it takes you to the, like, learning home, but you're gonna wanna click the tab at the top to browse all.
Okay.
And then it'll break it out by the categories.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
then all you have to do is I usually just control F and type in command to find it.
Got it.
And then there'll be this whole section. Another great resource I love when have any questions about command, answers.kw.com. This is essentially Google for any KW tech. So like if you're trying to, let's say, like start a newsletter, how to start a newsletter. It'll bring up a step-by-step article on literally, where is it? It's a bad example, I guess. Maybe just type in a keyword, newsletter. Oh, wait. Am I on? Sorry, this is a terrible example. I just looked at this like 10 minutes ago.
I go to answers.kw.com all the time, like I have a leadership version, but there's everything you'd ever like want to know.
Yeah.
The search, you know, they can improve the search functionality.
Yeah.
You can also click on the like, so click on command down there, click on the command button.
Oh yeah, and then it'll break it out in every single kind of what I call applets. So anything with your contacts, anything with your opportunities, smart plans, tasks. Yeah, so I use this site daily. If you guys ask me a question that I'm not 100% sure about, I come to answers.kw.com first to see if they have an article. And if not, then we can work together on that. But I love this website. I think it's a great resource, and I think it's one that not many people use, but it's got so many great articles on here. And yeah, I think it's
Not just tech, but like I mean, anything with your website or different,
Yeah.
I guess it all kind of goes back to tech a little bit, but it's not just like technical questions, it's like anything that has to do with like the Keller Williams systems. So answers.kw.com, you do have to bookmark that.
Is it linked on the KW resources agent page?
No, but we will
It
do that.
is.
Oh.
I think it is.
Probably did.
Oh, it is?
I think it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just wanted to like show you where all these things are. So in Connect, there's some command trainings, but really, all the tech things are in Answers. And then let's show, look, there's a little commercial section, tiny section.
There's one link in there.
All our stuff is in circles.
In your own,
Circles.
yeah, the conversations, go to some of those, are those like, some of those maybe videos, some of the, See, some of these are videos, solidify your follow-up, so there's just like some, however you learn, everyone learns differently. Okay, so now let's show the family reunion website, because that kind of ties in. So post family reunion this year, Keller Williams released a bunch of the, oh, not this one. It's like it's like Thrive. But it has a bunch of the videos they've released afterwards, a lot of the recordings of the sessions. So even if you went to family reunion, you didn't go to all the breakouts. Oh wait, what's the website?
events.kw.com/FR25 unlocked.
Okay, and we will share this. We shared it in the
Yeah.
Facebook group right after, but we'll share it again because it's still up. And so it has all these different panels of mega agents, Carrie's vision speech, but it has a lot of the breakouts is what they added like afterwards. So all these are the breakouts. With different people. So they're great. And you can either like, so let's look at golden letters. So this is where we got the idea to have Will come here. But so you can either play to watch his video of family reunion, or you can download the model, which is like the one pager. So however you'd like to learn. But again, and these are all real people who presented at family reunion just in February. So you can reach out to them directly too. But this webpage, they have added more and more of the breakouts, which is pretty cool on here. So we'll link that. Has anyone gone to this and watched any of it? No. Yeah, so there's a lot of great resource on here, so we just wanted to make sure to show that, especially as we evolve and everyone kind of lead gens in their own unique way, right? I think it's really important to master whatever you're doing, right? Whether it's golden letters, whether it's Bridget in her divorce niche, right, or whatever your niche is. But to just really master what you're doing. Micro events is a great one. It's like small events, like 10 people or whatever. That's a really good one to watch too, because it's easy to replicate. Okay. Stop us if you want us to slow down or anything. Should we keep going on some more resources?
Yeah.
What else? Let's go to our Facebook page for our agents, kwppagents.com. Hopefully most of you have gone here. So this is where on the homepage is it's the next couple events, right? The full calendar is going to be on there, but like the next two things are usually right on there. So you can RSVP there, but then you can also scroll down and see the full calendar of what's going on, right? Okay, scroll up to the top. A lot of you guys come to this website, but we want to make sure we show a few things. So what's under the technology tab?
Oh, and there is a way to add the KWPP calendar to your Google Calendar.
Yes, Cole, how did you do that?
Which we just did at ALC, and
Yes.
it's actually amazing to
Yeah.
have, so you don't have to add every single event that we talk about at every meeting.
Right, so if you're on your computer, like you can have the calendars on the checkbox on the left in your Google Calendar.
Yeah, it's super easy.
So if you don't want to see it, you can uncheck it. So
If you want to add it, just come talk to me. We can get that done.
I love it, Cole. So technology, here's a bunch of things. Oh, there's the link to KW answers. Look at that right there. Jeez, good stuff. How to do Linktree, how to install the printer drivers, things you can ask for help. But let's go to the resources tab. This is where like most of the things are there. So start at the top. Policy manual and logos. I get asked a lot. How do you find our logos? Click on that, Cole. First of all, it's always a good reminder to review the policy manual. Both ours and KWRI's. There's our logos, the luxury logos, and the commercial logos. So, and just industry logos like the realtor sign, the fair housing. So, you can download them in high quality resolution and the different versions of like ours, the white with the red.
Yeah,
dark
it's
red.
got every color variation in there, and it'll just download as a zip file. You'll just open the zip file, and there will be all the logos.
Okay, go back. What else do we get asked about a lot? The broker hotline, we don't talk about this enough, because we have an awesome broker.
Yeah, we just text Joe directly.
Joe all over the night, but if for some reason you couldn't, you can always call the broker hotline and someone will answer it every day of the week. Sneak peek, it's either way.
You call it.
Sneak peek. But I love it when it rings, it's like somebody.
Yeah, when you call that number, goes, hello, are you there?
Right.
Yeah, and then you can hang with them.
Cameron.
Oh, I have one more tech one
I love
that I learned, that our technology people that come in, I don't know, Wednesdays or one of those schedulers. If you ever have old cords, monitors, computers, whatever, they will take it and recycle it for you.
Yeah, they'll like wipe your.
They'll do everything for you, it's amazing, so I just got a new laptop and they took my old desktop and they literally wiped it right in front of me and then they take it and recycle it for you. So like, they'll do that with all your cords that you have, your old chargers, anything that's like in that technology space, they will take it and recycle it.
They actually do better than that because they recycle some of my computer things to kids in school.
Yeah,
They give it to
we're
school.
with my Rotary Club, we're doing a recycle day with them.
Oh,
And-
cool.
And we, for TPSD, so we're advertising it, and when the kids get their Chromebooks or their whatever. And they can turn in the old ones, they're gonna wipe them, put the new hard drives and and batteries in and give them right back to the school district.
Oh, I love that.
It does cost them quite a bit, and so it's a nonprofit that they run. The recycling, it's nonprofit, yeah.
Yeah, so reach out to Tyler and Matthew, we just see them on Wednesdays when they're here, but Cam, thanks for bringing that up. Keep chiming in good stuff. Reserve a conference room. Did you know you don't have to ask Steph? Unless it's the training room. The training room you do always have to work with Steph, but you can reserve a conference room there for the system. I think it asks you to create a login the very first time.
Very first time, yeah. But once you create that login, it should just remember it. It'll give you a nice picture carousel at the very top, and then the full-on schedule down below.
I'm gonna add the pool room now.
I know, right? Cool. What Look at this, our former.
Drove all this way.
Haves and wants, keep updating that, we'll keep sharing it, some of you guys have been updating it, but this is where we can update our haves and wants and share those. KW forms, and this is a big one, right?
Yeah.
So this takes you to our Google Drive, the first time you do it, again, you'll have to request access, because we don't want everyone to have this, but here is where a lot of things that people frequently ask for live. So, what's the first one? Oh, this is, some people have asked for a copy of our insurance, our E&O policy for something, or insurance proof of our liability.
For FHA.
For FHA, okay, so okay, get out of that. Our policy manual, another way to get to our policy manual, so you can get to it like so many different ways. I just updated it the other day and added on our commercial policy to the back of it, so it's all on.
So if you want to know about our team rules, you want to form a team, you can go into the policy manual, there's a team section.
All
Also, an
kinds.
important section is your own personal transactions.
Yes,
That's been updated.
yes,
So.
and then, yeah, the other, I should have talked about there's two sections that were added to the end, just the other day. There is a Washington agent supplement that was required, for Washington agents to review, and then the commercial real estate policy that added both of those. When you see that it was just updated the other day, that's the biggest changes, so. Make sure to take a look at that, if you have any questions, a lot of those can be found there, okay, go back.
And we have a separate one of these Google Drives for commercial that we are updating that will have roster forms, all that other kind of stuff. So
Yes.
similar to
Good stuff, Cam. I think we'll show you how to get to it here, but only commercial agents can get to it. What's the next one? Oh, appraisal addendum. So, maybe not necessarily relevant in this market, but if, when houses were going for a lot more, and what if it doesn't appraise, but addressing that on the front. So there's a couple of these custom forms. Kelly, did you make this one? Yes, like Kelly himself, to get out of here. And then what's the same thing for the escalation clause. Kelly, I'll just write this just so if you guys are doing escalation clauses, there's an easier, it's a nice simplified way to express it. The Homefront mortgage affiliated business arrangement disclosures. So this is required whenever you're using Homefront to show that we have shared ownership. In that, so it is a required document, but what's nice about it is it actually can be beneficial to show your client that look, the origination fees for conventional VA, FHA, and USDA loans is zero. The loan processing fees are zero. That's why like your closing costs are going to be less for Homefront because there's just less overhead. But so it's a required document, but it's actually like beneficial for marketing purposes. Do you want to add anything on that?
The underwriting fee is not ours. It belongs to whatever bank does the loan.
Oh, yes. Okay, some of these fees are associated, are third party, but associated fees. It's some of this is standard language that's required.
Same with the three bottom, none of those are ours, but.
Okay, so that's there. Next up is, what's this? Oh, our W-9 for referrals. We get asked a lot, where's our W-9 and what is our tax ID? There you go, right here. So, just like when you get a referral, Robbie has to get a W-9, same thing. So that's always lives here.
That's my favorite one.
The broker the instructions, yeah. Right, that you're getting paid.
I put mine in DocuSign and I made a template, so it's like click, click, click.
Yes, please use this one because it has the wire instructions and you can get the money faster. Most of you guys do, but we still do get some scrabbler checks sometimes. That come in, it just makes it take longer to pay. So.
Can't this go in DocuSign in that little KWPP
Yes.
folder?
Yeah.
Why isn't it there?
We have to figure out that process.
Okay.
You would think it would be a
I
simple
just
process.
I just created a template in mine, so you can pull it and suck it.
But yeah, we will make sure that.
I don't think we can distribute to the whole, I don't think it works.
It's supposed to, but it just doesn't work, right? We're supposed to be able to there's very easy steps that we're supposed to follow to be able to upload it, long story short, into our DocuSign, but it doesn't actually work. And our DocuSign account is managed by Keller Williams International. So it just makes, it's a little tricky. but we would like them to live there.
Just asking.
Yeah, I know, sorry, that's a kind of a weird complicated answer, but coming soon. Okay, this is another exciting thing that people ask for, our manufactured structures dealer license, which means mobile homes in a park. So, we can do that, but this is what you use, and then just make sure if you are doing those, one, you know what you're doing, or you can talk to Joe, because it is different, or Felicity has done,
I'm the
I'm talking to
queen.
someone who's done that. And it's a different sales agreement, different forms, so,
Anymore.
and then permission to, from photography or video, I don't know, some people use this, we think we need this fun stuff.
Only a few agents continue to use it. It's not mandatory, it's not in the checklist.
Just the optional form.
Yeah, it's an optional.
But the big ones we get asked about are the mobile home license, because you put the license number on it, and the W-9 tax, like some of those things. So that's what we just wanted to show you guys where those things live. And then. Oh, what's this one?
Escalation.
Oh, we have two of them. Escalation.
Oh, there's another version.
Yeah.
Okay, get out of this. Get out of this. Okay, what else? The CE shop, sometimes you guys ask us, for like discount codes. We have CE shop and online ed. We should put the online ed in the too. But we have discount codes to the coursework. The MRE budget model, that's where the, like some of the spreadsheets to, track your expenses and things like that with the chart accounts are all on there. The master roster, if you want the phone number of one of your peers or email, you can click on that and it will take you to the list of everyone's email and phone. And then the KWPP Cares grant application. So if you hear of somebody in need, that's where you would go to do that. And then down below, this is the most, pretty much everything is in resources. We kind of need to figure that out. If you miss one of these meetings and you want to go back and watch the recording, they're under that top right one. If you want the link directly to the Bear Printing website, that is ours with our custom templates, it's there. Oh yeah, our business partners, all of our in-house partners and their contact info. Cloud CMA, if you don't have Cloud CMA or have your login, ask Cole. Altos, if you don't receive the Altos report, ask Cole. But again, and then let's see what's down below.
Is my those last things in?
Wait, scroll back up. The Altos report, so those are market data reports. When you're new, we'll sign you up for all these things. But it's funny, sometimes the agents who've been here for a long time are the ones that, wait, I don't know if I ever got signed up for this, or I don't know what my login is, or I don't, so that's just kind of funny. Like now we do a pretty good job. But it's always good to set these things up before like you're rushing to go to a client meeting. Like making sure you have Altos, making sure you have Cloud CMA.
The reports will get sent to you every Friday. If you need them before that, I have the power to just send you the reports instantly. So just let me know and I can resend you that email.
Okay, there's a couple other things I want to show. Oh, wait, there, GPS and 411. So these are our Keller Williams tools that we don't talk about enough. So think about your GPS is like your goal for the year. Some people break it out into quarter. It's like less overwhelming. So your one thing, your one goal, and then you have your 3 priorities, and then your 5 strategies for each priority. So this is just a way to set your goals, but really make it more detailed of how you're going to achieve your goals, and what strategies you're going to use to get there. So there's an example of one in there too. And then there's the 411, which is taking your annual goals, and this is like the numbers wise, like your month, like how much money you want to make, right? And then translating that into what does that look like on a monthly basis? What does that look like weekly? And then same with personal. So say it's like you want to lose weight, like what does that look like monthly, and then what weekly activities? So again, just great Keller Williams tools that I will say we should probably do a better job of talking about. But the blank ones and sample ones are in there. Great to utilize. Who uses 411 or GPS? If you have any questions on those, reach out to any of us on the leadership team and we'll help you with those. Digital storefront, that's coming soon though, right? Does that say coming soon?
No.
Oh.
No, this is, if you guys ever want pricing or anything on any of the in-house items that we offer. The pricing PDF is here. This should be the most up-to-date one. If you guys want to buy anything, just let me or Steph know and we can get it done for you.
So I'll also plug these. I feel like this is a cool thing we don't talk about enough. These presentation folders that we have made. And you can load it with your own info for listing and buyer presentations, but they're real nice. I mean, you use these for almost everyone, right? If you've never used them, we can give you your first one free, but otherwise you just charge the cost to make them. So they're $25, but we got the idea, somebody brought us one from one of our competitors. They charge 60 for them. Oh my God. So we're not trying to make money. We just said, we're just
We just want
actual
people to
cost.
use it.
We want people to use them now, so if you haven't ever used one, there's some of the basic flyers, little home buying guide in there, so just a reminder that we have these, and if you want them, you can fill out that form or just go ask Steph. Or Cole or any of us, I'll do those. Okay, what else? Oh, the other thing, just a reminder, we have our printed calendars. If you're a visual person like I am, I like to see all the things, so we're working on June's, so we have a lot of good things already worked in for June. Reminder that Juneteenth is a Thursday, the 19th is a holiday. It's a Oregon holiday. It is a federal holiday. Molest is closed. So a banking day. And then we also have July 4th, a couple weeks after that. So just a reminder to grab these from the middle. Okay, cool. Anything else we should show in here? What else? Live stream.
So if you guys don't know, this meeting is also available on Zoom. So if you ever need to find that, you can either hit this live stream button, it'll open up the Zoom room. The password is KWPP all caps. If you forget the password, don't worry. Just come down to our Google Calendar and click on the weekly business meeting, and the Zoom room and password will be right there. And then a little button to copy to Google Calendar as well too.
Wait, go to more at the top.
Yeah.
So go to Commercial Hub. Let's just see. So these are the commercial resources that Cameron was kind of talking about. We're going to keep piecing up their Google Drive and put more resources in there specific to our commercial agents. We're an agent. We have an agent you've worked with that's really good at another company and you want to get some broker bucks. Please refer them to us. Broker bucks. Or you can just tell us. Okay, that's it. Any questions? I hope this was helpful. We just get a lot of questions on the resources we have. We just want to make sure that everyone knows how to access the different things. And you can always reach out to any of us or have Cole specifically show you some of the tech things. But we want to give you some different ways to fish for the info. So here we hope you guys have a great day. There's the CE class tomorrow.
Working hard, enjoy the sun this week, and come back to stuff. And thank you guys for showing up after a holiday. Have a great rest of your day.